But the answer, I'm sorry, is not tax cuts to the ultra wealthy.
Now at 6, the Preschool for All fight with significant local pushback as some state lawmakers look to end the program.
We can do better, and we need to do better.
Plus, broken windows and Molotov cocktails, but the real damage may be the disturbing message a vandal tried to send a Portland business.
Just a bunch of PTSD in a place that I call home.
If I'm being frank, it is in critical condition.
And is the Portland area in trouble? The Metro Council president is painting a concerning picture of the region.
Then it's draft day in the NBA, where dreams come true, and the Blazers work to make the most of their pick by adding another building block for the future. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pedowanich. Our top story here at 6, just days after Oregon lawmakers proposed an amendment to end the Preschool for All program in Multnomah County, and concerned parents as well as community members have gathered in support of it.
John Adams is live downtown. So John, this is the voter-approved program paid for by higher income earners. What did you hear from parents?
Absolutely, David and Christine. Those I spoke with today say the program has been overwhelmingly positive for their families, and they question the decision by some lawmakers to push to end the program.
Parents and advocates for Preschool for All in Multnomah County are pushing back. Less than 48 hours after a late-night amendment in Salem was proposed to end the program.
The program's been so transformational for my family that I wanted to come out here and make sure my voice was heard advocating for it.
The program, approved by voters in 2020, aims to cover the cost of preschool for many families who are under a certain income threshold and may struggle with paying for their child's care.
That's what a lot of parents in my community face every day. Do I pay my rent or do I pay for childcare?
But criticism from lawmakers outside the county has picked up steam in recent weeks. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek sent a letter to Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson 2 weeks ago questioning the program, which is paid for by a 1% personal income tax to those who make above $125,000 or couples who make above $200,000. County Commissioner Megan Moyer was blindsided by that letter and claimed statements in the letter were false and misleading.
One, the unbelievable inaccuracies of the governor's letter, but also just very flawed economic analysis.
Both Moyer and Vega Peterson addressed the state Senate Committee on Finance on Tuesday, advocating for the program to be kept in place.
But the answer, I'm sorry, is not tax cuts to the ultra wealthy at the expense of economic programs we know drive growth.
With parents of children in the program concerned of what may happen if Preschool for All disappears.
I don't think this is how you want to treat some of the more vulnerable parts of our society. Like, we can do better, and we need to do better.
And we are getting some late-breaking updates to this story. Just in the last 20 minutes, a source within the Salem legislature told our Blair Best that the bill doesn't have the time to move forward this legislative session, saying, quote, 0% chance it moves forward. So if that is true, it appears that Preschool for All is safe, at least for now. David and Christine, back to you.
Appreciate the update. John Adams reporting live from downtown Portland. Thank you, John.
Perhaps the governor and lawmakers sending a message there, right? Developing this evening, police have arrested a suspect they say threw Molotov cocktails at a home in Southeast Portland and vandalized a North Portland boba tea shop.
He appeared in court this afternoon, and Celine Stevens has the update.
Auntie Ha's was vandalized multiple times over the last week, with objects being thrown through the glass door, breaking it, as you can see behind me. Now, that suspect was arrested Tuesday and was arraigned on Wednesday afternoon, facing multiple counts of criminal mischief.
We are too scared to come back to because we are always worrying that he may really use his gun to shoot us.
That's the voice of the owner of Auntie Ha, a boba shop. Her shop on North Interstate is now temporarily closed after police say 37-year-old Christian Clarita threw an object through a glass door on June 18th and returned a day later and broke a window with a rock. Another victim says he tossed a Molotov cocktail at her Southeast Portland home.
Just a bunch of PTSD in a place that I call home.
2 victims spoke at Clarita's arraignment on Wednesday, a day after he was arrested. Prosecutors say Clarita even engaged in stalking behavior and told the owner of the boba tea shop he had a gun.
He admitted to stalking behavior both at the Anti-Ha shop and smashing the windows at the same location because, quote, Chinese people are ruining his life. He admitted to throwing a firebomb at the entryway of the house and left another to show the victim, who he called Chinese people, quote unquote, that he wants to be left alone.
A neighbor of the woman whose home was damaged spoke with us but didn't want to reveal her identity. She heard the commotion and says she saw Clarita right after.
He was kind of talking to himself. He was really agitated and talking to himself after he did this event. And he then turned to me, he saw me standing there, and he said, oh, sorry. He didn't, wasn't aware that he was talking to himself walking away from the situation.
The victims and neighbors left fearful.
It scared me a lot because I can't even go downstairs and to my living room anymore because I'm afraid of getting a rock to my head.
We were in fear. I mean, I think there were several people in the building that were in fear.
Prosecutors are pushing to keep Clarita in custody for the duration of the case.
I feel relieved, and I feel relieved for everybody who's being affected by it.
In Portland, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
In tonight's headlines, Portland police say an hours-long search for 2 armed carjacking suspects ended with no arrests today. The carjackings happened at about 4 o'clock this morning in the Hazelwood neighborhood near Northeast 108th and Hasselo. Investigators say the suspects drove the car to Northeast 114th, then ran off. That's when police issued a shelter-in-place order for that neighborhood, which wound up lasting for hours.
Our neighborhood has changed a lot. My kids used to run in the streets and play outside all the time, but now they've grown up, but I wouldn't want them to be out alone.
Portland police want anyone with information about the carjacking or the duo to contact them.
In Seaside, a man fishing from shore has died after he apparently got into trouble in the water. Rescuers found him drifting this morning about 25 feet out. He was taken to the hospital where he was declared dead. Local authorities are reminding people to be aware of the dangers of the ocean, even when conditions seem calm.
Today, the Metro Council's president, Lynn Peterson, was less than optimistic about the state of the Portland region. Peterson's comments at a City Club event reflect the homeless crisis and large budget deficits at the city and county levels.
So what's the state of our region? If I'm being diplomatic, I could call it non-ideal. If I'm being frank, it is in critical condition. Since the last state of the region, we have had a drumbeat of stories about an economic doom loop. We have seen the number of unsheltered homeless rise despite tireless efforts from our counties and cities.
Not holding back, those remarks come a day after Metro, Portland's regional government, indicated it will not put an extension of the homeless services tax on this year's ballot. High-income earners across the Tri-County area pay that tax, and it'll sunset in 2030 if it is not extended. Peterson also touched on what Metro sees as good progress when it comes to affordable housing, with 8 new communities last year and 9 more breaking ground. Joe?
Well, Christine, we're looking at some cloudy conditions out there, and that's what we're going to be seeing heading into Thursday. It's a 2-day event, and then we'll see our conditions really start to improve. Daytime high tomorrow, right around 70 degrees. A few light showers. I really should call them just some pockets of some drizzle and some sprinkles here and there. So we'll be feeling and looking more like spring for one more day. Highs only in the low 70s again tomorrow. Basically upper 60s, about 70 degrees or so. So we stay cool and cloudy for tomorrow. Late this week, basically late Friday afternoon and the evening hours, we'll be seeing a lot of sunshine and clear skies. Of course, this is a window where we're looking at some of the latest sunsets of the year at 9:04. Looking into the weekend, we're going to be seeing our temperatures really starting to warm up. By Saturday, getting close to 80 degrees, and looking into the later part of this week and the early part of next week, we're going to be seeing temperatures closer to the low 90s. Right now, we're looking at readings in the upper 60s with a lot of clouds out there. But coming up in my detailed forecast, I'll talk more about the warm weather that's around the corner and what you can expect to see for the 4th of July weekend, too.
Can't wait to hear all about that. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, something a lot of people are watching, the Trailblazers and the NBA draft, because it is underway right now in Brooklyn. Portland has the 11th overall pick as the team looks to keep building toward the future.
It should happen soon. Right now, the 9th pick is being made. Toronto followed by Houston and then the Trailblazers. Olada Sanchez watching this closely from the practice facility in Tualatin, and we'll be checking in with him as soon as that pick is in.
But for now, let's head over to the Rose Quarter with a live look at the Blazers draft block party. All those people waiting, hanging around. In addition to watching the draft, fans can test their basketball skills, show off their Blazers gear in the photo booth, and hang out with the Trailblazers mascots. They're hopeful about the future of the team.
Really train a new young star for our team. We already have a young team right now. Maybe we can rebuild for a little bit and be back at the top like we was with Dame.
Appreciate the optimism, right? Also think about the WNBA next season. So there's a lot of buzz, period, if you want to get in on the fun. The block party goes until 8 tonight.